The Confessions of Saint Augustine, Book 9, Chapter 10, following. And when our discourse was brought to that point that the very highest delight of the earthly senses, in the very purest material light, was in respect of the sweetness of that life, not only not worthy of comparison, but not even of mention, we, raising up ourselves with a more glowing affection towards the self-same, did by degrees pass through all things bodily. Even the very heaven, whence sun and moon and stars shine upon the earth, we were soaring higher, yet by inward musing and discourse and admiring to your works. And we came to our own minds and went beyond them, that we might arrive at that region of never-failing plenty where you feed Israel forever with the food of truth, and where life is the wisdom by whom all these things are made, and what have been, and what shall be, and she is not made, but is as she has been, and so shall be ever. Ye rather to have been and hereafter to be are not in her, but only to be, seeing she is eternal. For to have been and to be hereafter are not eternal. And while we were discoursing and panting after her, we slightly touched on her with the whole effort of our heart, and we sighed, and there we leave bound the first fruits of the Spirit. And we turned to vocal expressions of our mouth, where the Lord spoken has beginning and end. And what is like unto your word, our Lord, who endures in himself without becoming old, and makes all things new? We were saying then, if to any the tumult of the flesh were hushed the images of earth and waters and air, hushed also the pole of heaven, ye the very soul be hushed to herself, and by not thinking on self surmount self, hushed all dreams and imaginary revelations, every tongue and every sign, and whatsoever exists only in transition. Since, if any could hear all these say, we made not ourselves, but he made us that abides for ever. If then, having uttered this, they too should be hushed, having roused only our ears to him who made them, and he alone speak, not by them but by himself, that we may hear his word, not through any tongue of flesh, nor angel's voice, nor sound of thunder, nor in the dark riddle of a similitude, but might hear whom in these things we love, might hear his very self without these, as we too now strained ourselves, and in swift thought touched on that eternal wisdom which abides all over. Could this be continued on, and other visions of kind far unlike be withdrawn, and this one ravish and absorb and wrap us, its beholder, amid these inward joys, so that life might be forever like that one moment of understanding which now we sighed after, were not this enter into your master's joy? And when shall that be? When we shall all rise again, though we shall not all be changed? Such things was I speaking, and even if not in this very manner, and these same words, yet, Lord, you know that in that day when we were speaking of these things, and this world with all its delights became, as we spoke, contemptible to us, my mother said, Son, for mine own part I have no further delight in anything in this life. What I do here any longer, and to what I am here, I know not, now that my hopes in this world are accomplished. One thing there was for which I desired to linger for a while in this life, that I might see you a Catholic Christian before I died. My God has done this for me more abundantly, that I should now see you withal, despising earthly happiness, become your servant. What do I here